Welcome back, everyone, to the topic of the week. And the topic of the week this week is depression and anxiety. So, having depression is an awful feeling to have. It is a wave of darkness, it's this cloud of darkness that covers you internally, externally, and you just don't see a way out. And the suicide rates have been going up since the pandemic, and it's very, very worrying, especially in teenagers. Actually, there was a school nearby in my area, and there were 6 students that all attempted suicide during the pandemic, which is shocking. This was age group of 12 years of age, and it's, I mean, from in one school, that's a high number. So, what causes us to fall into this deep, dark depth of depression? And, then you get these comments from people who's like, pull yourself up and you have to think positive. That's not going to help, because it's just like when you say to someone, and I love giving this example because it's so true. If someone is angry and they're raging, and you say to them, God, you just got calm down. No one ever calms down when you tell them to calm down. Is this not going to happen? Just as someone who's in the depth of depression, they don't want to be in that. You saying to them, you just got to think positive, is not going to help them out. What that person needs and probably wants is, first of all, to find out why. What is causing this feeling of darkness? And then we need to work on the subconscious mind, because consciously you think there's no way out. I'm probably going to take my life, because what is the point? You're not producing enough dopamine in your body, and your levels just go down, and everything, your cortisol levels go up, and so on. And the stress and the anxiety causes you to fall even deeper into this darkness, and you just don't feel like there's a way out, but there is a way out. So before I get to the way out and the solution, which I love to speak about, let's talk about some of the causes for depression. And I also added anxiety into this because a lot of people that have anxiety occasionally fall into a depression as well, and vice versa. So if you have depression, you may also be affected by anxiety. So there are so many different causes for depression, and as I've already mentioned in my past videos, every person is unique, everyone is a special individual, and we all have different upbringings. We have different parents, we have different siblings, and different imprints. So when I say imprint, I mean a negative imprint, something that may have happened to you as a child. This does not always mean that it was something severely traumatic. It could be anything from being bullied at school, from being compared to by your sibling, from your parents to your siblings. It could be something major. It could be something awfully traumatic that you may not remember. And I've given sessions to people that have had certain issues, and then they didn't know that something awful had happened to them, and it explained so many different reasons for the issues that were affecting them. And once you have that understanding, you get your control back, you get your power back, and you can choose how you respond to this information, because we all have a choice. So even if you've had trauma in your life, you were abused, you were raped, you were, neglected in whichever way or form, or even if it wasn't that bad, it doesn't matter. What you choose to do with that pain, that is your responsibility. If I've had trauma, if I've been neglected, if I've had, physical or sexual abuse, that is an awful, horrific trauma. But how I deal with it afterwards, that is my responsibility. What happened to me isn't my fault, but it is my responsibility to seek healing, help, to move forward. There are so many famous public speakers. Oprah's one of them. There was so much abuse, and look at her thrive. I'm not saying we're all ready to be Oprahs, but we have a choice. We can fall into the depth of darkness and then stay there and just, go even further, end our life, or fall into addiction and so on. Or this can happen to us. Yes, we fall into a depression. things happen. But we can also then be aware and say, do I want to live? Do I want to try? Do I want to heal? Because there are ways out. There is a way out. And I had very severe depression and I wanted to end my life on a day-to-day basis. Genuinely, this isn't just to, get you to, watch this video. It's just because it's true. And I knew that if I carried on, I would never get out of this. I would never get out of that darkness. So I asked for help. I asked for help, and that's the only thing that you could possibly do. So if you are struggling right now, or if you can't afford to have therapy, there are people out there. Do please, if you can't afford to have therapy and you feel like you are really about to, take that step and end your life, please feel free to call me, to go onto my website. I will make the time for you, because I think we all need to give back, right? And there is a way out. So I just wanted to have mentioned that. So some of the causes for depression, for anxiety, is a deep, profound hurt, a wound. So this wound could be a negative belief, something along the lines of, I don't feel lovable. My dad left me or abandoned me. This is just an example. My dad didn't leave me. I still have wonderful contact with my father. My dad abandoned me when I was a child. That makes me unlovable, because why else would he leave? If I were lovable, then he wouldn't have left, right? This is what a child would think. As a grown-up, you'd say, well, no, he was an irresponsible man, or she was an irresponsible mother. Whoever it was that left, you can reflect in a healthy and conscious level when you're an adult. But as a child, you're like, you left me, you abandoned me, so no one loves me. I'm not lovable. So that causes a wound. And a lot of people don't have depression instantly from when they're children. Some do, some don't. Sometimes it's a trigger that kind of unleashes this depression. Something happens, maybe a relationship ends and you fall into this depth of darkness. How do you get out of it? How I got out of it was with RTT. And not only did I have depression, I had anxiety, I had addictions, I had anorexia, I had literally everything. So, and I am proud of it. There was more than enough issues. That's what I like to say. So I had all of these issues, but I also wanted to get out of it. And RTT was the only thing that was truly freeing and helped me be able to love myself just the way that I deserved. So if you feel like that you can't seem to move forward, like this depression seems to always go back, you seem to always, go up with your medication, and that's not really helping, because again, addiction goes in and you become dependent on a substance to make you happy and balanced and normal. That shouldn't be the case. We are born balanced. We are born healthy. Well, most of the time. We are born without the belief of having this depression. We're born without this. So why should we have to take tablets to make us feel normal and balanced, when in reality we've got that ability within us? We just need to heal and let go of the pain, the wounds, the trauma, and completely rewire and reprogram your subconscious mind. And we can do this with RTT, with a hypnotherapy session. It's very effective. RTT stands for Rapid Transformational Therapy, and it truly sums it up perfectly, because it really is rapid, it is transformational, and it is also therapy. So what do we do in the session? We will look at the causes, find out the cause for the depression or the anxiety or both. We will end any limiting belief and install new beliefs, reconnect you with your inner child, and make you become your own loving parent to yourself, that you will always love yourself unconditionally, so you can always depend on yourself, so you can trust yourself. And also rewire your subconscious mind with a hypnotic audio that with repetition will completely change your belief system. So if you need help, if you want freedom, go to my website, leliahypnosis.com, and book a free call. I am there for you and I empathize with you, and I'd love to help you out. I'm sending you so much love and so much kindness and so much positivity. Have a wonderful day.